Hello, I'm Jeff from the Whitchurch-Delville Public Library, and I'm here to talk to you about Ozobots. So today, I'm going to give you a quick introduction to Ozobots, how they work, and we're going to go over a few activities that you can do on your own. And we have all the stuff provided with you for today's instruction, and we're going to have fun. So first, I'm going to give you a little introduction to what an Ozobot is. So this is an Ozobot. It's a little robot that you can it has a little sensor at the bottom. I'll bring it closer. You'll see down here, these are little color sensors. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna read colors, and that's what we're gonna use to code the Ozobot. So basically, we are gonna use no screens. We're just gonna use paper. We're gonna use some markers. I got some markers here. And we are going to give the Ozobot instructions that it can read through the different colors so it knows what exactly to do. So first of all, what I want to do is, my first piece of advice is these markers. First of all, you need to use a chisel tip marker. So see the marker end, how it's like a chisel tip? These are the only types of markers that will work. The brand doesn't matter. It can be an Ozobot one, it can be a Sharpie, it can be anything. But the important part is that it has a chisel tip, so you make a nice thick line that it can follow. Secondly, I like to use black as my main color to create a track, and then you use different color codes within it to tell it what to do. And lastly, inside of your kit, you're going to have a nice color code sheet so that you can kind of look over, and it's going to tell you the different color codes. And that's what we're going to explore next. One last piece of advice before we actually get started is the markers that we're going to use. So like here I wrote my name, but they will bleed through. So we don't want you to stain your table, so make sure you have some sort of like plastic covering underneath, or you have multiple pieces of paper so the markers don't bleed through, and that will be your important message PSA of the day. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Okay, we're gonna get started, and here's what we're gonna do first. So first we're gonna take the nice black marker, we're gonna make sure we have the nice chisel tip marker, and we're gonna start and we're gonna make a nice thick line, okay? So you wanna make sure you have the whole chisel tip and you make the nice big line. And then with the Ozobot, you'll see on the sides there's the bumps, and that's how you turn it on. The light will come on, and you just start it at the line, and it will follow along. Perfect, it hit the end, and let's try that again. I just picked it up and put it back at the beginning, and it follows the line. You can pick it up, turn it around, and it will go the other way. So now we're gonna add some color codes to our line. So again, I'm gonna start with the nice black line, and I like the Ozobots when they go fast, so I'm gonna use the turbo code, which is blue, then green, then blue again. So now I'm gonna take again the marker, and you wanna make a nice little box, not too big, not too small, and you wanna make it nice and tight with the black line, but you also need to be careful not to let the colors bleed. If the colors bleed, the Ozobot will have trouble reading the different colors, and your codes may not work. So if your code is not working, that's always one of the first things to check, is to make sure that the colors are not bleeding and that the colors are close enough together. So now I got the blue. So blue, green, blue. And then we'll continue on the line, and we'll make sure we have lots of room for it to go fast. So we're gonna start. And now look at the light. See, it reads the colors, and now it goes really fast. So what happens if we turn it around? It's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna read the same colors. So I turn it off and turn it back on to reset, and now it will, oh, see, it didn't read it that time. Let's try again. Okay. So now I want to show that the direction it goes is important. So because our code is blue, green, blue, it's the same as if we go the opposite direction. Right? So if the Ozobot is starting off in this direction, it's going to read blue first, then green, then blue. And because of this code, it will be the same if the Ozobot is traveling in this direction. But what happens now when we have a different code? So for example, if I want to use the nitro boost to make it even go faster, I'm going to start with my line. Okay, and now the nitro boost, if you look on your color code sheet, it starts with blue. So you make the colors nice and tight, and then it's green. And then red. And now, because it's going to go super fast, we're going to give it lots of room. Make it nice and smooth. So now when we start, we're going to go this way. Let me reset them. So see, it reads the code and goes really fast. But now what happens when we go the opposite direction? So now it's going to read red first, then green, then blue. Any guesses of what it might be? I hate to tell you, it's going to go super slow. So just remember that when you're making your track, that if the order is important, and if it's going the opposite way, it may do something different than what you intend for the Ozobot to do. So our next challenge that we're going to do, the first thing I'm going to challenge you to do is you're going to make a letter and use the first letter of your first name. So since my name is Jeff, I'm going to use a J. And so I'm going to start it. And just a quick warning, when you make any kind of curves, you want to make them nice and slow and gradual. So that way it's going to read it really well. If you make something like this here, it's not going to read it, you know, or something like that, it will have a trouble reading it. So you want to make a nice wide curve. So let's see what happens with the Ozobot. So it's just going to read, and there it knew to turn, but it's not always the case. So what really helps is if you give it a specific command, so that way when it's going in its direction, it knows to turn right. So if you look at your color code, see what the right at an intersection code is. So I have this one prepared already. So this is going to go blue, red, and then green. And so it knows to turn right. Or it's going to do its own thing. Sometimes it's not perfect. So see what happened here is I think my color codes are not the the lines aren't the greatest. Let's see if that helps. See, and now it turns right. Which way is it going to go? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to try making the first letter of your first name, and try to throw some codes in it. Make it go all the way through, and then why don't you pause the video, take a break, and try writing your whole name out in one big loop that you can have the Ozobot follow. And my instructions for you are to use some different color codes so you can make the Ozobot tell it where to go and how to navigate your name. So just pause the video, kind of work on your piece, and then when you're done, I will show you what mine looks like. All right, I'm back. So here's my name, and I took some liberties because I needed to make a track, but I'm gonna start here, and my first code here, I have blue, red, and green. So if you can guess that, it means you turn right. So it's gonna follow along, and then I have blue, black, and red. So right here is an intersection. So you wanna see how you want it to tell the Ozobot to go straight through the intersection. You don't want it to turn right, otherwise it'll get stuck in a loop. You don't want it to turn left, you want it to go straight. So follow along. So this way the Ozobot will go, and then because I'm impatient, I want it to go fast. So it's gonna speed up, follow along, and then again, it's gonna read go straight. But notice how, because of the direction of the Ozobot, here, they look different, but it's the same code, but that's because of the direction the Ozobot is coming. So this way it'll see blue first, then black, then red. Same as the other side. However, if it gets turned around, who knows what will happen. So let's test it out. Okay, turn right. All right, come on, go straight. Oh, see, I should have probably put another code in between. Now it's gonna go fast. Let's see if it likes my curves. Go straight, and then we hit the win condition. So this is the win, and so it'll spin, and I guess I didn't leave enough room, and it kept going. So how did yours turn out? This is all about trial and error. If the first time it didn't work, you can try again and improve it. That's the great thing about paper and markers, is that you can just get a new sheet of paper and keep trying. So keep working on it, keep trying your own, see if you can make it go. Use a couple new codes if you want a little bit of a challenge. Otherwise, we can go on to our next activity. All right, so our next challenge is a little bit easier. These are a list of mystery codes, so it should be in your pack, and just try them out. Just draw some lines, see what they do, and try to guess what they are first, and then try them out and see if the Ozobot reads them. Use your different markers and have some fun. Draw a maze, draw a town, draw a road. Have the Ozobot use the different codes and, create a town, create whatever you'd like, and just try out the different codes. Have the Ozobot follow the codes. Try to do each one and try them out, see what they do, which ones you like best, and just have fun. Create a big epic maze, create a giant town, a giant city even, and just use the different codes, try them out. That's how you learn, right? You use it, you learn it, and just, again, be careful the colors don't bleed. And you can press pause and try it, and then when you're ready, I'll come with the last challenge, which is one of my favorites. Last but not least is my most favorite challenge for Ozobots, and this is called Ozobot Finds Love. So you'll see it there in the package with all the different markers and stuff, and I kept 2 copies, so one a practice and one for the final, but I'll also, you can find this online and find different, so you can print extra copies if you need be. But the whole goal of this is you're going to start up here, and you're going to use different codes to make Ozobot follow the track, and you're going to hit all the letters in order, the word love. So you're going to hit L, then O, then V, and then E. And then you got to come all the way down to the finish line. So my tip for you is there's 3 commands you really are going to need. You're going to need your turn right, your turn left, and go straight. So those are the 3 codes you'll need. And you just want to make sure you plan it out. And so you figure out which codes go where. And remember, your direction matters. So you don't want to use the same one twice because it might read it differently when it comes by. So you just want to make sure you only use one section here at a time. You don't want to use the same one twice. Those are your rules. It's a fun challenge. It's not super hard. And if you are really stuck, let me know and I'll send you the answers. But otherwise, you should be able to figure it out on your own. and have fun, okay? And just remember, practice, draw it out first if you'd like, and good luck. Great. Well, hopefully you had fun with Ozobots. There's all kinds of things you can find online as well. But, have fun. Draw your own things. Try the different color codes. You got the markers. You just need paper. And it's a great screen-free activity that you can keep doing over and over. You got the charger, so if it runs out of battery, just keep charging it, and you're all set. So good luck, have fun, and thanks for joining the Ozobot program.